Okay, that was one more secret from Rickard Malmsten. I'm going to make the following announcement in Cantonese in case you're from Hong Kong or you're from China and watching and doesn't really know what's going on. Okay, 好啦，咁我哋今日咧就係請到呢一個嚟自瑞典嘅一位低音吉他手啦，就係呢一個 Rickard Malmsten。咁我哋今日請到佢嚟就主要都係同佢講下佢啲音樂，因為其實阿 Rickard 咧喺香港咧都已經係好幾年時間啦嚇，我諗都8、9年時間，咁佢都好活躍嘅喺呢一個圈子裏邊，咁可能大家都聽過佢嘅彈奏啊諸如此類，咁都想多啲了解下。咁其實頭先阿 Rickard 就係講過佢早期嘅時候咧，就喺瑞典嗰度啊。因為佢爸爸係彈呢個低音嘅關係咧，咁所以佢就都學咗呢個樂器。冇幾耐之後，佢就去咗一個音樂學校裏邊咧，就去繼續研究呢種音樂啦。咁跟住就學識咗彈 jazz， 之後就去好多地方。咁我哋或者應該再傾，再有時間嘅時候咧，就再將即係我哋講嗰啲嘢用中文濃縮啲同大家講一講翻。All right, so let's go back to English and after this song, One More Secret, I was going to ask Rickard, and you talk about going to music school. And you pick up, piano and drums when you were younger, and then you also played the bass, and then you went to this music school in Sweden. Is it in Sweden?
Yes. Well, the thing is, I'm from a family of we were 7 brothers and sisters. So my older brother, he was into sport, and he was a Swedish champion in boxing at the time. So he was very famous and very macho. And
yeah, but what does it have to do with the music school?
Yeah, that's the thing where we come to it. So I was thinking to proceed a little career as a sportsman, but it didn't work out because everything I wanted to do, my brother would beat me in it, and so it wasn't that fun. So and I wasn't a typical boxing type of guy either, So I sort of thought, let's go for music, but I still have that competitive thing from home, I think. So I go to music, but I'm going to make them proud and try to work it out. So I applied, and I came into the music school, and it was just fantastic. As we all know, music is not a competition, but it's good to put some pressure on yourself. And especially when you come to music school and you barely know the notes on the neck, and suddenly someone put in front of you a song by Jaco Pastorius or Jeff Berlin, and you think, wow, this is a mystery. How can it sound like that on that little thing, So, so every day I was listening. I had very, very good teachers there that had a lot of LPs at the time, and provided us with a lot of music. So I said, well, let's go to work, Let's try to work on Donna Lee or work on Giant Steps or or blue bossa or those songs. That
How
we did.
old were you when you went into the school?
16 years old.
So
when
you
I came
finished
in.
like kind of like high school after high school.
I finished, yeah, straight after high school. So I came in and I was listening to the Beach Boys and the Beatles and the rock and roll thing that was going on, and also some, like Metallica and whatever was popular at that time. And I came into the music school, which was totally different music, but challenging, and I still found the music very challenging, So that's a good thing for us to keep on doing it and to keep on learning and become hopefully better at what we are doing.
All right. So how long did you stay there?
How long?
How long did you stay in the music school?
In music school it was 3 years.
Okay.
So the first 2 years was sort of in Aarhus, the school that is close to the forest, or in the forest actually. And the third year we get moved to a bit bigger school, and that's where I also met my wife. I was 17, going 18, and I met her there at the third year. And of course, all the teachers said, "Don't try to go for this guy. It's not going to work out." But she's outside the studio right now, 17 years later. So
why? What kind of reputation you had at that time?
well, not really reputation, but I don't know. Do you want to? If you don't want to get your kid to marry a jazz musician, So
I see.
She was
so
on a scholarship.
In Sweden, people also have that kind of attitude. I mean,
Even more. Well, we have good education. Education is free in Sweden, so I'm very thankful for that. And they put us to good school, but that also means that every year there is musicians coming home, graduating from Berkeley or from MIT or from the Stockholm Conservatory of Music. So every year we have hundreds and hundreds of musicians ready to go out on the field and play. But when you look to the reality that there is only maybe 4 or 5 jazz clubs working, which doesn't pay that well, it's a big competition. So I bet you can compare it to New York in certain way.
I don't think you can compare it to New York, because New York got a lot more clubs. But of course, the competition is also fierce. But I'm thinking more about Hong Kong, because we have one jazz club here. That's about
Right.
it. And there are like, I don't know, 40, 50 jazz musicians here. I mean, that are playing jazz instead of just doing like pop and stuff. And it's competition, all right. I mean, even, in Hong Kong. And the thing is, there are so many jazz players in Sweden. You mentioned people are graduating from Berkeley,
Yes.
from MI.
There is lots of them, and they're also very good,
Jazz players? Or
Jazz players, fantastic jazz players. Well, we have certain well-known names that you know, as Ulf Akenius and Esbjörn Svensson, that passed away not too long ago, which is very sad.
But that's about the only two of
Well,
that reached that level.
Oh no, there is many like
I mean,
Bobo
world famous and
Stensons
everything.
and there is some really fantastic and big names out there. But there is also the young and talented one that sort of have to work part time as maybe pizza delivery or
But they don't have to do pop music, right?
Well, there is options to do that, but also to do pop music in Sweden is also a very big market, So we have a lot of export. Like Sweden was famous for having bands like ABBA and Roxette, and so we had a good export and still having it. But it's, I think this is a worldwide problem, that there is much more musicians than clubs,
Yeah, it's always like that. So everybody, you can see on the screen here is that phone in. There we have the area code number, in case you're calling in from other countries. If you want to talk to Rickard, do give us a call, and we're more than happy to take your call. All right, so you spent those 3 years in the music school, got your chops, got your music together, and even got yourself a wife, and that's good, eh?
Yeah, that was great. But I felt after those years, then I just got a little taste of what music is. It's still a mystery.
That's why you find that
the
competition is like a bit tough in Sweden. So maybe you go somewhere, right?
Well, yeah, and I wanted to study with Jeff Berlin, because that was the one I was listening to, and I couldn't figure out what he did, So I said, if I'm going to study, I might as well study for the champion.
All right, so we're going to hear your California experience after this important, not messages, song. So what song we're going to hear?
Okay, well, this is actually, now we skip forward a little bit. So this is the song when I came to Hong Kong. And this is a song that I wrote for Robin Harris.
I have that album.